Hey, good evening.
Good to see you.
We have been away for a few weeks. I say we've been away. We've not been here on a Monday. We've not been here on a Monday night together.
We've missed you. We've been doing interviews and lots of interviews.
Yeah.
All sorts of things.
Regions Beyond, Terry Virgo, Mercy UK, but we're back.
We're back.
So I hope that's good news for you,
psyched.
and you're not there's no big sighs going on out there. But we've had a good weekend. I hope you've had a good weekend. It's been lovely. I hope you've made the most of the lovely weather. We love Sunday morning church online together, and Redeemer kids actually. I don't know what your kids are feeling about it, but mine are loving Tom.
They're loving it. They're loving the wiggle.
Loving the wiggle. They love jumping up and down.
Yeah.
The chicken wiggle.
Love story time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just brilliant. Tom and Abby have done a fantastic job with that, and Kirsty as well, who's put so much time and effort into pulling all that together, which is great. And it's great actually to see what some of our other age groups are getting up to, especially our new group Origin, which has launched.
Yeah, I saw some incredible burgers.
Which is high schoolers, right?
Yeah.
And Tom and Catherine, who are heading that up, are just doing a brilliant job, and that's been really great so far. It looks like it's exciting.
I know,
but yesterday, so it's good to finish the Pray For Me, the kind of Pray For Me campaign that we've been running.
Yeah.
Although we finished that a few weeks ago, I guess, actually, but was to see some of the more of those videos, to finish the teaching series, Pray For Me.
It's been great to hear from some of the key workers, or lots of the key workers in the church. So if that's you, thank you so much. We do really appreciate you. And so it's been just so nice to see some other faces, I think, and not just see, there's only so many faces you can see on a Sunday, but to have those involved. And if you follow us on Instagram, seeing them on there over the last few weeks, it's been really nice.
Yeah.
So keep up the good work.
And that was nice as well this week to see all those faces reading the Lord's Prayer for us. And I just really loved talking about that. And so I think if you, like I said yesterday, if you can find some time this week to, if you're, you're not a regular prayer, you don't really know where to start with prayer, I just encourage you to start using the Lord's Prayer. That's kind of how I actually might start doing that again, really. It's how I learned to pray, or started to learn to pray initially, whether that's just saying it, slowly, contemplatively, however you say that word, just thinking through what each kind of phrase means. But I think even using it as a guide to kind of spend a minute even on each section and just allow yourself to pray in those areas. And I actually did an interview that came out last week, I believe, with Terry Virgo, and he talked about himself using the Lord's Prayer as a guide for his own prayer life. So I really encourage you to watch that. I think that would really help you, especially if you want to kind of find your way into prayer, as it were.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what have we got coming up? Some of the things coming up that we just want to let people know about.
Okay.
What week are we in now? So not this week, but next week we are going to have first on the 20. I want to commit to the 25th. I'm pretty sure it's 25th.
It's a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday. No, it's a Thursday.
It's a Thursday.
It's a Thursday. Do not listen to Alex.
So a week Thursday.
It's a week Thursday. So I believe that's the 25th.
Come on.
We are going to have our first church social night. So every week we gather together in our planting groups, which is fantastic. But next Thursday, or week Thursday, we are going to have our first Redeemer quiz night. It's going to just be like a nice social family time. If you're not a person who loves quizzes, don't worry. We're going to do a whole range of things. You'll get a chance to see some other people, but you'll be with other people in your group as well, but you might be with some people in other groups too. And so there'll be some people and you'll get to see some new people. So don't think this is only for those people who like quizzes. This is for everyone who's in their planting group. So no planting groups will be happening next week. It will just be Thursday night Redeemer quiz. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, we'd really love you to join that, and it's just going to be so nice to see so many people's faces across Zoom as we do the quiz. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Whatever, would it be 100 or 80 screens or whatever it might be.
Yeah,
couples, individuals.
Yeah,
their prizes. Steve Myersco's putting the quiz together.
Yeah.
Alex might share just a few things going on. We know we're going to have we're going to have a good time together.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So we'd love you to be there for that. And just to say that we're really just conscious of making sure that Redeemer has healthy rhythms in its life. And so that means there's seasons where we really put our energy into things, throw ourselves into things, into community, into serving this town, reaching this town for Jesus. But there's also parts of our rhythm that we want to kind of refresh ourselves, be with family, friends, be with God. Always want to prioritize that. And so towards the end of July, I think do you remember the date?
The week beginning, I should have looked this up before, but I'm going to go with 16th, the week beginning the 16th
Week
of
beginning
July.
16th.
So whenever your group meets in that week, that'll be the last week, the week that we'll meet. Just like Alex said, we want to have healthy rhythms of rest and just a chance to reflect and to also look forward. So that's important for the group leaders who have done such a fantastic job serving this term, and kind of everything came forward soon with planting. And so we're so grateful for all of you, but also just for everyone in the groups to have that time over the summer before we get back in again, full steam ahead come September. Groups will begin again.
And so I guess it's fair to say that we're anticipating all groups remaining online via Zoom until that point, which is like a month away roughly. But then who knows, once we kick back in September and groups restart again, we'll just kind of reassess where we are, let you know. I mean, it'd be lovely if some groups can be together physically, but also we're just really aware that Zoom actually really helps a lot of people. If you've got young kids or you're particularly busy coming back late from work, it just enables you to connect in a way that you may struggle to do if you had to attend something physical. So we're just thinking all of that through as to whether we can get a balance of physical virtual stuff so that everyone can be involved, but also we really get that kind of togetherness.
And who knows what will happen over the summer, but it might be that we can do some socials, or you might be able to, depending on what kind of groups can gather, it'd be nice to do some, so we might do some things on Zoom, or we might be able to do some things physically with small groups. We'll see. But the planting groups will stop and begin again in September.
Which is going to be good. It's going to be nice to have a rest, but we've really enjoyed we've enjoyed the group that we're in. It's been really great. So a week from Sunday, so not this coming Sunday, but the Sunday after, we're kicking back into the book of Luke. We're kicking back into the Pioneers series just for 4 weeks only before we start a series on Jonah that we're going to talk about in a moment. And I've just really enjoyed being in that series. I think it's been a great way to start Redeemer, looking at the kind of early Jesus movement. So we're going to kick back in with that, looking at Jesus' interaction with a guy with leprosy who's like excluded from community, isolated. So kind of very much in keeping with what we've kind of experienced. Actually, a guy who's been completely isolated because of his skin, which, as we've kind of seen loads of that in the news. We're going to talk about that in a moment as well. But alongside that, we're going to be starting the Pioneer membership, which we've kind of mentioned in different settings. So why are we doing Pioneer membership in a nutshell, and then how is it going to work?
Great. We are doing a Pioneer membership because, well, as you'll be aware, we planted Redeemer, what is it, nearly 3 months ago, nearly 12 weeks ago, come the end of this month. And we talked about it last year. We talked about it in the new year, what it's going to look like, kind of the vision for why we're planting a church, what is the purpose of it. We want to see people who don't come to church. We want it to be a church that unchurched people love to come to, a place where people come to know Jesus. And we kind of want to spell out what that looks like, because there could still be lots of questions about, what does it actually mean for me to be a member of Redeemer? What does it mean to be part of this family? Like we'll be talking about in the next few weeks. Families have expectations, or they have, kind of ways of working and functioning. And so we just really want to help, us as a leadership team work out what is it going to mean for us to be part of this leadership team? What does it mean for us to be planted? But also, what does it look like for you to be part of this family? Because it's not just a couple of people planting it or a handful. It's actually over 150 of us planting together. And so I want to help you understand what does that look like? What are our priorities as a family? What are the things that we're getting behind? What are our key things, and what are some of the things that we're not going to worry so much about or focus so much on? And so hopefully it's going to be really practical, just really easy to access, and we're hoping that come the end of it, you're going to be, yes, I am fully in. I can't wait. I love this. I want to see people come to know Jesus in this town.
And for most of you, it's really just going to be a kind of fleshing out exercise, because you've kind of bought in already and you said, yes, I want to plant Redeemer. and we love you. We're so pleased that you've joined, and we just want to kind of unfold for you a little more of the detail as to what it means to be part of Redeemer in this kind of early season. So we're going to cover leadership and what it means to follow leaders and who the leaders are and how that works. We're going to look at vision. We're going to be test driving with you, okay, jumping in the car on the track and doing a few laps, a vision statement that we want to run with for the first part of Redeemer's life, and see how we get on with that. So that's really exciting.
Yeah.
And then we're going to talk about family priorities and how we function together as a family and what we think is important. So we're going to actually start that next week. So the next episode of this, and then the subsequent 2 episodes, three all in total, we're going to be looking at Pioneer membership. What is it? Why does it matter? What does it mean for us to buy in? All the flesh of what it means to be part of Redeemer. And then the plan is that you're going to kind of map alongside that, roughly a week behind, with your planting group.
So you've got plenty of time to watch the lean in.
Plenty of time.
Plenty of time.
Yeah.
You've got a week to make sure you've got it. Just be 20 minutes of your week.
Yeah.
Just so you're aware of what we're talking about. So when you go to your group, you're switched on. You've got your questions ready.
Yeah. So we're going to have material that we're going to send out to you. There's going to be great discussion in your groups. We've already taken the group leaders, fantastic bunch, through it already. And it's just going to be a real privilege to do that together. It's going to be a privilege, I think, for all of us in our groups to be in the room in these kind of early moments. And we're just really treasuring these early moments. So do watch those videos starting next week for the next 3 weeks. In fact, can I just, if I can ever say this to you, this is a must-watch moment, these next 3, because we really want to be on the same page together as we launch something in this town.
Yeah, that's so important. Yeah, we want to be really clear, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're aware, and we've kind of said a little bit about it now in different settings, but we're just really still, slightly, I guess we're still shocked, but also reflecting on everything that happened surrounding George Floyd's death in America. But as kind of tragic as that was, we're actually, it's just kind of a fresh moment where a spotlight has come onto the issue of racism, not just in the US, but in the UK. In fact, so much of the world, probably all of the world. And so we're just really aware of that as leaders. I'm just really aware of that. I'm aware of people in our community who are black from maybe from other cultures. And I just want to say that as a white person, I really don't know how you're feeling, whether this is a big thing for you, whether you've personally experienced very overt racism in your life or not. But I guess it's just made me think how much we appreciate you, how much I appreciate you, Lucy and I, Joel and Rachel, as a leadership team, how much we love you, thinking of you. And we just want to use this moment to reflect. I think in these moments, it's really important for public responses. I think the church is so often silent, and I think silence kind of equals complicity in these kind of things. But also it's very easy to kind of just respond because everyone else is responding. It almost feels like, we should be responding. People would look bad on us if we weren't responding. And so whilst I think a public response is important, and we've done that, we've touched on that, particularly a week ago on Sunday. But actually I think a much more important response is that we take seriously the kind of issue in our society that God has highlighted and think, what is it going to look like for us to genuinely respond and build something that reflects Jesus, reflects the multicoloured bride that he wants. And actually we don't do that well. We often don't do that well. And so this is much more of a learning moment, I think, for us than here's all the things we want to say publicly moment. And so we're just going to start that process. And we're going to start talking about that as a leadership team at some point in the very near future. We really want to hear from you if you've experienced, very obvious things that have happened to you that are like kind of racist episodes, things that have gone on. But also we're going to start a series in Jonah in 4 weeks' time, and that's going to be largely about our vision and what we want to be as a church. And I guess a huge part of that, just to let you in a little secret, is that if we want to take Jesus to the centre of our town, first we've got to really take him to the centre of our hearts. We've got to start with us. And we kind of want to look at the issue of racism, particularly early on in the Jonah series, And we're planning on starting a series of conversations. Basically, we want to hear from you if you've been the victim of racism. And we really want to hear from you. We want to hear your story. We want to hear what's happened to you. And then about 3 or 4 weeks into the series in Jonah, we're planning on having a public, open discussion on a Sunday morning where we discuss with people from Redeemer the issue of racism in their lives, in our culture, and how we at Redeemer maybe can try and build something different. And so I guess I'm simultaneously kind of horrified at everything that's going on, but also I think hopeful and optimistic that the grace of Jesus is bigger than racism, and that we can actually build something centered around the inclusivity of Jesus rather than the kind of segregation that often happens in society. Just to say lastly, and I don't know if you want to throw anything in, I just saw this really moving photo maybe yesterday where there's been a load of like Black Lives Matter protests in London, so much of which I think is so admirable and important. It's really unfortunate that I think there's some, kind of real violence going on in the midst of that as well, and the attacking of police officers, some of which I saw were black police officers, so you think, I'm not sure what that's actually doing to achieve anything. But there's this really moving photo of a guy who's from a far-right group who'd obviously gone to cause trouble with the Black Lives Matter protests, and he'd probably attacked and then subsequently been attacked by a load of black guys. And there's this one black guy carrying this white far-right guy over his shoulder and kind of carrying him to safety and rescuing him. And I thought, what an image of the gospel that is, that you can actually take punishment on behalf of your enemies, and you can rescue them and carry them to safety. And if you see an interview with this guy who rescued this white far-right guy, he says, I could feel like I was being beaten as I was trying to lift this guy out of the crowd and carry him to safety. You think, what a beautiful picture of Jesus, in the midst of horrendous scenes. You think, there's an image of the gospel. And we want to focus on the gospel, we want to build something around the gospel. So we'll see where we go in that. We just want to start a bit of a journey and a conversation.
And we want to be we want that in our DNA, don't we, as a church?
Yeah.
We want to be a diverse group of people that, like you said, that's what, when it talks in Revelation about every tribe and tongue comes to worship. That's what we want to be, the small, little microcosm of that here in Redeemer, in Worthing. And so we're so grateful for all of the different cultures that we have, the different races that we have. And I'm sure we make loads of mistakes. And like Alex said, we just want to go on this journey of learning what it looks like to do that better, and not just talk about it, although we want to talk about it, but put things into place and help us. So it'll be great.
So if you're not sure how to respond, we sent out a video through the planting groups that I did. You can watch that. That'll maybe just help you think it through. So I'd really encourage you to watch that, look on your WhatsApp group, or hassle them if they didn't send that to you. That'll be really, really great, and we're going to do that together.
I'm looking forward to it. What else have we got going on?
So we want to talk about some money that we've given away.
Always good.
Always good.
It feels nice. And so we set up a relief fund, which so many of you really generously gave to. Thank you so much. To be able to support people in the church, but also to support people outside of the church, just in these really tricky times. And so we had some money left after that. And so with that money, we really just wanted to think, who could we bless in this town or beyond? And so what we decided to give some money to Worthing Tabernacle. We really love those guys. We've been meeting with a couple of their leaders over the last 6 months, or maybe nearly a year now. And they love this town. They want to see Jesus made famous in this town. They want people to come to know Jesus. And so it's not a massive amount, but it's kind of a gesture of we're with them. We love them. We love what they're doing, and we want to support them.
And they were so appreciative of that. And actually, what that means is they're really appreciative of you for giving generously and enabling us to stand with them. So thanks for that.
Another one.
So we gave some money to a church in Hull, Jubilee Church in Hull, which was previously led by a guy called Steve Whittington. Now is led by a guy called Dan. Second name of which I've forgotten. Sorry about that. Fryer. Dan Fryer, yes.
Sorry, Dan.
Sorry, Dan. And they're just fantastic guys. It's a wonderful church. They've just poured themselves out for 15 years since they've been going, of serving the city of Hull in every way you can imagine. Language schools, soup runs, homeless shelters, colleges, foreign language schools, I don't know if I've said that, but all sorts of things. And they, like, particularly because of this moment, they've come under really hard times. A load of their income has dried up that they get through the school and the college that they run. And so we just really wanted to stand with them. They were having to think about closing things, maybe getting rid of staff. And so we again, it's not going to solve all of their problems, but we just wanted to say we're really with you, praying for you, thinking of you. So that's Jubilee Church in Hull. And then lastly, it was a real privilege to be able to send some money to our dear friends now in Hilton, near Pietermaritzburg in South Africa, Colin and Pam Nichols. And we really love those guys. And we're constantly thinking of them, and they're just doing a fantastic job in a very difficult set of circumstances, starting a new church, also trying to start a training school, and
in lockdown.
And so we just wanted to say again that we're with them, and so we sent them some money as well, and we've sent them your love and your prayers.
So thank you for your generosity. Thank you. Because again, we want that to be, this is kind of a formational time. Is that the right word? Just to be the church that we want to grow to be, and embed these things in our DNA. So we love justice, and want to serve the poor and be generous. And so thank you so much. Let's continue to be generous in what we do.
Great. So I think that's up. So should we finish with a quick roundup of what's coming up this week?
Okay. So look forward to this Sunday. We have got a guest speaker.
Woo! First guest speaker.
First guest,
A Redeemer.
Yeah. So if you're sick of seeing this guy's face,
it's a big moment, which you will be. Let's face it, you will be.
So we've got PJ Smythe, who is a fan. If you haven't heard him before, I just can't recommend him highly enough. We really love his input, and he's been really helpful as we've planted, as we've spoken to him. Just fantastic. And so he's going to be sharing with us next week. Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Don't miss it. It's going to be great.
The epic call. And we've got an epic call as Redeemers going into this town. So that's going to be really great. He actually leads his own church called Monument in Washington DC. And also leads the Advanced family of churches, which kind of came out of New Frontiers, similar to Regions Beyond, which has got churches around the world. So it's a real privilege to have him. So do tune in for that. And not only have we got PJ Smythe, but it's Father's Day. And so just big up all of you dads, all of you men, whether you're married, single, kids, biological kids or not. I think as men, we are called to be fathers in so many senses. And so we're just going to have a big emphasis this week on Father's Day. Really want to celebrate fatherhood. Also want to kind of stand with men and with couples who have never had biological kids of their own and would have wanted to. We're really aware that that can be a difficult thing to live with, but in the gospel that can be something that's beautifully redeemed by being part of a bigger family in the church and having spiritual sons and daughters, which actually the Bible places more emphasis on than biological ones. So we kind of really want to place a big emphasis on that, so we're looking forward to that. We've got our Acts reading plan continuing this week. We're kind of 2 weeks from the end. I hope you've enjoyed it. So close, and videos as well with that from the leadership team.
And then we've got just normal stuff going on, digging deeper on Thursday, worship together 7:30 on Friday, Redeemer Kids 9:30 on Sunday. There's plenty of stuff to engage with.
So I hope you enjoy, hope you tune into stuff. Like we said, next Monday is a must-watch. Pioneer membership the next 3 weeks. And we'll see you around. Hopefully we'll see you on Zoom at some point.
We'll see you at quiz night.
Quiz night in a week and a half's time. Worship together. We'll see you on Zoom. And then we'll be together next Sunday. Let's really make a priority of being together on Sundays. You know, the weather is going to potentially just get better and better, hopefully. And it's be easy to think, let's just have a nice morning in the garden, and maybe we'll catch up if we get time later in the week. But that's not going to be us. We'll see that in Pioneer membership. We prioritise being together. And so I'd really encourage you to do that and, set that alarm, get up.
You can be out in the garden, just have your laptop with you.
That's it.
Have your TV dragged to the window. We want to be together Sunday morning.
That's it. You can get your suntan and engage in church simultaneously. It's a glorious thing.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing.
Great. Thanks so much for joining us tonight, and we will see you soon.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.